Chebo, Okumazaka, Tifamo Dundap, Moses, Lord Mayor, Yumejok, Ajo, Evan Kazenene. Kan vayina me polibate go sengembu yako ya me keblika ekuvya kan vayina me polibate go sengembu yako ya me keblika yena nano kuyankan areze je me pona kekele nyame Sengambu yako ya mekeblika arete je menfona kekele nyame go sengambu yako ya mekeblika ai akaranga bi mena moto kare nyame akaranga bi mengbanju kare nyame akaranga bi mena ku kare nyame akaranga bi mena ku kare nyame nyeno ya bate kanjam ya te bunyina ma bogotame akone banketie ngajare kobo ya bate kanjam ya nyeno bontame
the COVID-19 measures the government put in place. So I think that while we wait for the few other chiefs who are here, I would ask that we start with an opening prayer, which I'll ask Pastor Ibot to give us an opening prayer. Yonjio kachon kwa na mungai se wat bangwe ne ne nyon e wunya yo wat ko abanje ne kwentu ba ba bare ti ko kara ba ne ko ba
aku ga ta ke choke zeli mete diyo kele wat to na pan ngese wat bengo ni nyo se ko ake ro do fumbui e ke ba patase oyese ntini e bona sentimi atwi and abri ntiyita nyake to se mete zele to ngeso anabra mo mete ababra mo mete zele ete eka taka se ya ke bochi to mo mete nji e kuma ya nabre and to mo samo ko get goti because what e ro sam na ke me and ba mo sa jaga e ba yo to what sato basi mfonse ya mowa Jesus Christ ya e ba refo meza e ko le se na ba kala yo ro ne ka to ne ro ne e ko ka to ma ke twi and no ke kala nti nya ke ese e junge sokoti ano kuma sun ci ma ka kuma o ro samne nje ke o le ka mo ba Jesus Christ amen amen.
We have started holding the thing so that it should not get missing. Chipay. Chokara. Nakoba, Jaka. I many of you understand that.
Okay, I want to greet everybody and thank you all for making yourself available here this morning for the exercise we are up to. I want to say that the Ejakam language, there is nothing you can think of that is more important than your language. I want to say that the Ejakam language, the Bible was first translated into the Ejakam language before eventually, whether it's Kafka or whatever, carried it to Boya and things like that. I know that in Mamfe, the office that they had there, the Bible, the Ejakam Bible is there translated, other booklets were there. Then after that, Mr. Abuno working with the capital people will remain in that office, and looks like the Bayan language or Kenyan became prominent. And I want to say that our own parents who left our area, Ejakam people, and came down coast to look for employment in the CDC and others, did not identify themselves. They let everybody were Bayan man. When they ask you, you are from Manfe, once you are from Manfe, you are Bayan man. It was not long when some of us lived in Douala here and we started insisting, don't call me a Bayan man, I'm an Ejakam man. So I think this is an opportunity we have now had like being and teach people how to read and interpret the Bible. But we at village level failed because villages did not contribute and did not follow up the program. So if today we have the opportunity of our language being taught so that our children will know it, and then particularly those of them in the diaspora, once you know your language, you can talk your Ejakam, you can write your Ejakam. It will be easier for those of us in the village to be able to say, okay, the school in my village, the teachers there must make the program and make sure children are taught their language. Because even in the village, you still go there now, most of our children, they respond, Pidgin English has become the national language. So I want to thank the organizer who has made it possible for this thing to be launched today. And I think that our ancestors will encourage and protect it and give means for it to be able to go ahead. Thank you all.
So I'm still observing the measures put in place. I am His Royal Highness Ntufam. Ntufam, to my young people, I want you all to know that Ntufam means chief of a town or a village. Do you understand? Ntui in Ejaga means chief. Ntufam either means village or town. So get it right. That is why they call chiefs of villages Ntufam. Okay? Do not go and call the chief of the meeting house Ntufam. It is not Ntufam in the real sense as an Ejaga man would put it. It is the tree of that meeting. Alright? If you sit in your various age groups, as is in Ejaga, whoever you choose to be the head of that group is not Ntufam Ikan or Ikan. It's Ntui Ikan. Okay? So let's try to always have that correction. So I'm the mayor of Umoja, and Umoja has 66 villages. On this day, I am telling you what the Ntufam of the Lofone has done. The ancestors are having a feast. They are having a feast because the Ejaga language, which most of us are forgetting, which most of us have forgotten through him, through his voice, with our collaboration, and with what the ancestors have always reached, has been revived. So we took from for the summer and the autumn of my heart on behalf of the entire municipality. My young people, I want you to know that the Ejaga tribe and the Ejaga man should be the most respected and the most proud man in Cameroon. These are the only set of people who do not know exactly where they come from. All the history books, what has been written, is just, how will I say it? I don't want to use the word approximations, but guess what? And the real, our parents would ask them, where is the Ejaga man from? And they say, we don't know, God made us here. We don't know where we came from. Because all the hypotheses that have been put forth, explaining whether we are from East Africa or whether we are from where, nobody can tell us exactly the movement of the Ejaga man wherever they came to where we are right now. We've had inter-movements, maybe from Tabo to Bendeke and so on, but not from very far. Nobody can say with precision where we came from. Nobody can tell us who led us, the generals, the various places that we stopped. So somehow I also want to believe that the Ejaga man was created or has never changed about. We don't know the war that we fought to have been chased or to have moved to our present site. We've had some little fights with maybe the Mbos trying to fight over our sword domes. We've had inter-village problems. We know about the origin of Ewele. We know about the origin of many other villages, Kimbom, the urban areas. But that will move from somewhere with convincing evidence. It is not there. I am telling you this, my young ones, so you know that you should be proud to be Ejaga people. You should be proud to know your mother tongue because it is unique, because we are unique. And so our first identity is our mother tongue. I grew up like some of you. I did not grow up in the village. I grew up with my parents in the city. But they did their little best to impart that language to us. And growing up, some of us didn't know we were going to take the responsibilities which we have now. And so we are now faced with this culture. How do we do it? We have to go back to the roots. So what Chief Obenofene has done is not only going to be a learning curve for you, the young ones, but you'll be surprised that most of us also learn a lot. So it is something which is very highly welcome. It is something which I will put my best to make sure the elites do not sleep, to endorse whatever action needs to be done for this thing to be promoted. I have my children, although they are not here, they are in the US, but I will make sure with what I've discussed with the chief, that this thing should be an online lesson, such that it should be at the time when they can also plug in and follow the lessons live. Or if not, there should be, programs such that they can also catch up after these lessons are done or are given. So I want to beg us to be serious. I want to say that it is pleasing before our ancestors and to God Almighty and to the Ejago people. And I want to thank and see the very wonderful personalities that are here. It shows my young people how much they are attached to this. So take it seriously, enjoy every bit of it, and I wish you all a safe stay, especially during this COVID-19. Thank you.
And I very much to add from what Senior Chief Brian said, and Ikifam Ita. As Chief Obeno Fonda introduced me, I am a Chief Batereno of Kembu. And yes, if there is a project like this one to write our language, I will not call it dialect because it's a language that covers a vast area, all the way from Calabar to the north of Icom, right to the coast at Market. So it's a language. And this project should make us all proud to know our history, to know our culture. I know that there had been a project in Yaoundé at the Summer Institute of Linguistics, SIL, which was initiated by white men for the study of Ogawa. To the best of my knowledge, that project has been more than 20 years now, if not 30 or 40 years. So I think that is a resource where we can go from to add to our own experiences and other resources. So we'll do everything to support this and to spread it so that we can share, we can glorify in our own roots. So we won't take much of the time.
It's organized by the Imojo Traditional Rulers Association, and we thought that the chiefs have children, and we thought we should invite one of our own elites who honored us. In fact, when I called him yesterday, he was in Yaoundé. When I told him why, he said, "No, Chief, I will come." So I'm happy to have Mr. Ogok here, and I think I'll now give him a chance to make a statement.
Imojo Traditional Rulers here represented. Dear children, it's indeed a pleasure for me, like Chief Benefale just said. He called me yesterday and I was in Yaoundé, and I said I would try to come back yesterday so that I could make it here this morning. I was really excited because I remember when we were growing up, There was a white man who came to one place, they used to call him the water. And of course our people translated his name to Ganaib because and so he came there to learn the German language and to write it. You see the paradox, a white man has to come and learn our language and write it. And so indeed when Chief talked about this, I was really happy because a few years back when we could easily go back to Mamfe and so on, I was very, very disappointed that I saw a child in the village. When I spoke to the child in the dialect, they told me that he doesn't understand the dialect. But this is a child who was living in the village. Growing up, a little boy about 7, 8. He didn't understand the village at all. And I said, what do you speak? He said, English. Of course, the English was speaking English. And it occurred to me that we were really going down the slope. Because when they say culture is your identity, what you eat identifies you, what you speak identifies you, what you wear identifies you. And of course, when you meet somebody, the first thing you do is you speak to the person. And if you don't speak the language that is your own, you are not identified. If you speak English, the person will take it to be anybody from maybe the British Empire, the old British Empire, from any part of the world. You must speak English. But if you met somebody and you just hear it and say, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister. And so, I want to thank you for this initiative. And to say that today we are fortunate to have people, young ones who are interested, take this opportunity because you grow up to realize that this was a huge opportunity that was given to you. Because when you become adults, like some of us are today, what we are filled with is only regrets there. So we are regretting that we did not hand down that language to our children. But all is not lost, because I'm sure through this initiative that has been taken by the United Traditional Rulers, we can still catch up. When I say we, I'm referring to our children who are grown up and they don't know the language. They will be able to catch up, because I believe that it will not end with us inside this hall. With the ICTs that we have, video conferences and all the different platforms that are available now, all Ejakan people in all parts of the world, be it Australia, America, wherever, they can be able to log in and they can follow the lessons and eventually they will know the language. Yesterday when we talked with him, I told him, I said, my son-in-law started learning Kenyan only a few weeks ago in the US, they're in the US. And he's already, he himself, from the progress that he was making, he wants to speak. Every time my wife is Kenyan, so when he calls my wife, they want to speak in Kenyan. So you can see the excitement, the difference, what it makes. You can speak French, you can speak English. So when you cannot speak what is your own, there's a problem. And I think this is a wake-up call to everyone. I want to thank you very much. I hope that many of us Ejakan people will support this initiative and make sure that the King of Kenya yourself is a language. And we are one of those rare languages, African languages, that we have different accents. You will hear people talk about the British English, Scottish, with different accents that people speak. That's the same thing we have in Ejakan. Whether you're speaking with Oban accent or Jemaya or Central Ejakan, it's the same language. The fundamental thing is that it's one language, and it's a language that it is us who can develop it. And I think this initiative is just starting for us to develop it and use it, not just to wait for white people to come and write the Bible and we read it for you, but to use it actively with their children. Thank you, Chief, for this opportunity.
It's not for 2 weeks. Chief called me and shared his vision.
And so pedagogically, we always begin from the known to the unknown. Bearing in mind that the majority of Ejagams in Cameroon speak what I would call Central Ejagam, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I think. We want to put this thing in levels, maybe level 1 through 3. And I want to think that at level 1, for which I will give the syllabus, we should start Central Jagam language. As we get higher, we can introduce the mother shape, which is Njemaya, and which is already written, which is already academic.
Our subdivisions. You have by him the chief of a corps, Chief Ojam. Chief Ojam is a young chief, but who has been in the forefront in our local politics in Imoto. Next to me is Chief Ayub Akobachi. I think he's the youngest of the chiefs here. No. He's not kidding. He's Chief yes. I think Ayub Akobachi is not, but he's younger than me at least. He's the chief of Inugu. And then you have Chief Batirino, is the chief of Kembum, and as I said to you, Kembum is the largest village in the subdivision, and it was just good that he should be present. Then we have the chief of Imojo town, the town which is the headquarters of our subdivision, is Chief Ita Jacques. Chief Ita happens to also be the mayor of our municipality. And so it's a pleasure for us to have him here. And I have an occasion to say that this the man in white and white who wants to compete together. Mr. Ogon Bison, Dr. Ogon Bison, he is an illustrious son of ours. He is the general manager of Sueda. And Sueda is the organization that is charged with the grassroots development of the whole region. And so we think that as a Jagam people, having that kind of person managing there, it will impact on our people, on our subdivision. And I think that the mayor should work hand in gloves with him. It's not for nothing that God put two of you at this time in those places. We need to see changes in our subdivision because of two of you. That said, my brothers and sisters and dear royal friends, how did this idea come up that we should go back? I need to say go back because I've been told that we are not the first, it's not the first effort. That we should go back to the teaching of Njagam. It is because we noticed, and many of us noticed that many of our children, the children we are raising now, particularly those of them we raised in towns, have not had the privilege to study, to learn our language. And that has made that has been compounded by the fact that by intermarriages, the people who teach children how to speak, the person who taught me Jagam is my mother. I am an Oba man, but I speak about the one that Chief Bati speaks because my mother is his sister. And so that's what she taught me. So the people who spend more time with children are usually with mothers, and it is they who do that teaching. Now many of us are going to marry women who are not the Jagam women. And so the problem is there already because they themselves don't know it. So how will they pass it on to the language? And so we saw that as a problem. And our dream is to bring back the Jagam man, the Jagam language into our homes. And as someone said, he was proud to be a Jagam. When I was growing, there's an expression that I always heard from my father. My father always said that. We grew up in Market Town, and when he quarrels with the bank man, he said that that means what Nyende is? What the translation? That's the Jagam man is a gentleman. Sanctified man. Sanctified man. That's the expression I heard from my father all the time. And this is what we want to pass on to our children. They should know that an Ejaga man from onset is a dignified man. His word is his bold. He is someone you can count on. He's a reliable person. This is the dream we want. That dream was handed to me. And I did not have it to achieve because of certain circumstances. So we want to use this method to make every man of us, every child of us should be proud of being Ejaga, and you cannot be proud of being Ejaga, and you cannot even do the basics, which is speaking the language. And this is when we thought that we should look at this thing and try to find a solution. Our intention is that the Ejaga children should again be a dignified set of people. Because we will speak the same language and have no complex and like the Lord the language, we will be united as a people. And we like that because we'll be united and dignified. Everybody likes a dignified man. Everybody likes a straightforward man. Everybody likes a reliable man. If we do that and we become Nyene, as we are called, as we call ourselves, we will be people who can make an impact in this country and beyond. You know, we have Ejaga children abroad, in places like America. Obama is not the last black man to become president. If we have a dignified child of Ejaga origin, and many of them are there, if you are dignified because you know your language and you have been imparted with our cultural values, nothing stops that the next black president may be one of us. And so we want our people, our children, to be people of honor, people who will bring us honor. That's why when we look at it and say, God, in all of this ambition that we have, how do we realize it? How do we realize it? And so we thought that we should create an Ejaga consciousness in the next generation. Our people, our children, and us should be conscious that we are Ejaga people. And we should be, somebody spoke here, I don't know who is pastor. He said he's proud all the time to be an Ejaga man. Those complexes that our people had in those days, as Chibai pointed out, you go to somewhere, they say, where are you seeing a band? No, it cannot be. It cannot be. We are Ejaga people, we are our own people. I think we have not just been strong enough to have had a division of our own. I think we have not been Mr. Hope. Now you people have come to try for us to get a division. We should get a division of our own because we are big enough to be a division. And so we thought that we should create that awareness, a Ejaga consciousness, and the way to create it, we thought, was first to teach our children the dialect. And next, to ensure that the Ejaga language is written and is propagated. Now I know that the Ejaga is written in the Jemaya language is written, and that's where we work. When we look at Ejaga as a people, it is in Cameroon that the Central Ejaga is a majority. But when you look at Ejaga as a people, that one that is spoken in Ekwe is a majority because there are many more in Nigeria than here. Now that language is written, and we should ensure that because it is written, we should produce some more literature, and we should propagate. Propagate means that you don't just leave it in the bookshelves. You should use it so that it becomes something that its presence is known, it's established. And I said it to Chief Akoma that there are some places where you go and you say that you are Ejaga, they don't know it. It's not in the record. Yes.
You are telling me you only go to the police, you do your ID.
I don't understand. He said, no, don't look at it. So we speak it, we should make it known, we should propagate it, we should make that language known so that nobody should think that we don't exist. And of course, we think that when we do that, we would enhance the development of our own subdivision. You know, you cannot develop without developing the people. It's the individual that develops first, then its impact, its development impacts where it comes from. So we are thinking that when we develop this Ejagan consciousness and make our people sure of themselves, proud of their roots, particularly those of you who are here and those who are in the diaspora, who normally will have more opportunities. Once you are proud of your roots, sure of your roots, we are sure that when you get that development, you will bring it to our area. And you will not start saying that I'm not going to the bush because all the roads are difficult. No, if you are proud of the place, you will go there. You go there and try to do something. And that's why we thought that the first step we should was to create this Ejagan school, which the professional says we should call it academy. And I think for now we'll call it Ejagan Academy. So we thought it's the first thing to do. And what is the concept? There are many of us who do not know the dialect, who do not know what Monday is, what Tuesday. Tuesday for me used to be a 4 because most of the time was Kemo market. So we knew that it was market day. Now there are many of us, the children and us, who do not know the details. So we think that we should create this academy, and whereas we are many, we can have, I don't know whether the word will be appropriate, a pilot class. A pilot class. When you are here, about 8 of you, or 10 of you, do not think that you are only 10 of you learning. And the teacher should not think that he's teaching only 10 people. Because as we speak, I was told that it is going online. It is going online live. So as we speak, we will find a time. These classes will be holding, I think, around Saturdays at 3 or 4. That's what I was discussing with the pastor. So that at that time, people in America, in England, they are up. They can just hook up online and will follow the class live. So that one will give that detail later. And that's why we thought that we should do that, so that you will find that you're 8 here. But once people will get to know, you will see here 8, but there are 2,000 people following the class. So you don't look at the fact that you are few here and think that it is not important. It is, because you will be about 2,000 or more following the class. And that's why we are taking the trouble to get the instructors to take the thing very serious. I know that for now they are doing it. It's a benevolent job they are doing, but the chiefs will not just allow them to pay their own transport. We will certainly find a way to let them to be able to support them. And someone may ask me, why Limbe? Why Limbe? Because usually when we want to do Ejagan things like the chiefs meetings, we say we must follow the Manfi, we must follow the Mojo. But why Limbe? And I was surprised to know that I thought that the problem which we want to solve is more accentuated out of Mani. Those who live in Manfi, Ejagan who live in Manfi, there's a big Ejagan community and they always go to the villages and come back. So I thought that the problem is we don't need to wait until we can go and create it in Mojo town, but we can create it somewhere else, because the real problem we want to solve is out of here, it's out of Mojo. It's not those cases which are cited. I think they are exceptional cases in the villages. So we think that the problems are out of our subdivision, and so if we open the school here, it will be better for us. The second thing is that in Limbe here, we have many Ejagan people. The proof is that all these children are Ejagan people in town. And then we have a facility here. We have a facility here. This facility belongs to an Ejagan son, a man whose father and mother are Ejagan people. So if we have a facility like this, we should be able to use it. And we think that, and where Sam, Wait, Sam. Yeah, we think, I want to say it in the presence of people, we think that no matter what is happening, this academy should always have a place to hold every time as in function of the calendar they will set up. If you cannot meet here, because you will be 8 of you and the teacher, we have a smaller hall which can take you. Today we are many because we have us who are guests. But when you be just the teacher and the students, we have a smaller hall which for no reason should be sold when on the day when the academy is meeting. I think Sam should come with me. I need to tell you in public. Place exists. There must be room for this academy to meet and teach students so that the rest of them in the world can follow. So that's one of the reasons why we decided that we should hold it in Lidl. Otherwise, when we started talking, I was talking with Musaifa in Yaoundé. Maybe in Yaoundé, I don't know what we would have done. But that said, with this in mind, with the vision in mind, and the result we want to achieve, and the willingness of the coordinators, and the support which I got from all the chiefs, there is nobody I call on Wednesday. I think most of the earliest person time I called anybody was Thursday. All of them came here. I come and comes from Yaoundé, chief of the Moyo of he comes from Yaoundé, Mr. Efa comes from Yaoundé. Chief Bayan comes from Yaoundé, he tells you how seriously they take it. So you should know, my children, that all the chiefs take this initiative very seriously. Don't allow your numbers deceive you. Your numbers you are few because of COVID-19. Otherwise, we would have filled this place. And know that even though you are 8 of you here, you will have many people online attending this class with you all the time. So take advantage of it. The questions you will ask the teacher, the answers you will give when the teacher asks questions, the singing you will sing, you'll be singing for yourself and for your thousands of brothers and sisters who will be abroad listening to the song and singing. When the teacher is answering your question, thousands of them will be there also learning. So you will be, as a matter of fact, you will be co-teachers. You'll be learning, and because you are learning, you'll be helping your brothers and sisters abroad also to learn. So you are a very important arm of this venture, and I think that I thank your parents who brought you here, who have realized that they should give you the opportunity, and I thank you, and I hope that you take it seriously, because we are taking it seriously. That said, in the name of all the Ejagam chiefs and all the chiefs of the Imodok subdivision, all members of ECHA, and in the name of our Almighty God, I hereby then declare this Ejagam Academy open.